Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. Oh, family, welcome to the live stream. We are live. We are live. And I'm coming at you with 5. Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen, to our broadcast. If you can hear me, those that are here, I need you to please, please, please put a like in the description box if you can hear me right now, if you hear me from the sound of my voice, that I'm here. If you love this live stream, you love what we're doing, please put it in. Excuse me, y'all. Hold on a second. Am I blue? Am I blue? Do these tears in my eyes telling you? What's up, family? It's another exciting Tuesday. It's Random Topic Tuesdays, the hottest live stream here on YouTube. Wherever you are, wherever you are, I hope you are blessed and doing safe. You're watching via X or on Facebook, on my backup channels on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and get started. But before I do that, I want to share everybody. We got some events coming up as well this Saturday. I actually have this on Eventbrite right now. We have a new comedy show actually coming at the Verdict. We have Halloween Spectacular costume show. So everybody, $15 right now on Eventbrite. You can come in. We're gonna have a Halloween Spectacular comedy show. Everybody can come in and tune in the way costume. We're gonna have
Get your tickets right now on Eventbrite. It's the Halloween Spectacular Show live at the Verdict, 8 o'clock p.m. October 21st. Be there with costume and your tickets in hand. It's a thriller.
so they'll hit me with a copyright strike for that, but that's actually just fair use, guys. That's promoting my show. That was part of the ad. So we got that coming up on Saturday, this Saturday, and I'm not going to tell you what my costume is. You're going to have to find out. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. We live. It's 5:30. Y'all can tune in, especially if you're from work. You got that notification. We are moving it forward. I got a few things to discuss. It's gonna be a nice size broadcast, but not too long because I'm gonna get up out of here. They got a whole night out against crime. So I'm here in New Orleans, as you know, and the big news, especially, I don't know if anybody's seen this, but our district attorney, Jason Williams, was carjacked in the middle of the night last night. He had a gun held to his head. And we actually have a video of what happened from the district attorney of the city of New Orleans. And this is just crazy as to what happened. You know, here is the city's chief prosecutor being assaulted, he and his mother, late at night in New Orleans. And people have been tweeting and memeing. People have put up memes about it, wondering if the suspects were people he let off. I had to laugh at that one. I actually know Jason. Jason has come on this broadcast before when he was
following breaking news
for DA. So I'm grateful that he's not harmed. So I'm gonna play this.
Orleans Parish District Attorney Jason Williams was carjacked overnight.
Yeah, and in scary fashion. We got a statement from his office who says that he was actually helping his 78-year-old mother into the vehicle when somebody with a gun approached them. We're told that Williams and his mom are okay and that they're thanking the NOPD officers for their hard work this morning. The New Orleans Police Department did not respond to questions about this incident, but we will be following this throughout the day. But again, Orleans DA Jason Williams carjacked overnight at gunpoint along with his 78-year-old mother.
Jason Williams, you know, a lot of people on this side, he's famous with his most famous cases before he became district attorney. He was Boosie's lawyer. He was into private practice, and he represented Lil Boosie at his murder trial and got an acquittal. So that was just nuts that happened. But I'm grateful he wasn't harmed. As a matter of fact, I'm looking for actual thing here. So this is actual.
Are custom built specifically to take on southern weather. Be New South proud.
Save 35% off all windows and doors.
WWL-TV's Eyewitness News begins with breaking news.
How's he doing that?
Southern weather is extreme, and strong windows are critical for your safety and comfort.
We install superior windows with our lifetime guarantee.
This is real factory direct.
I'm
No
taking
middleman,
around
no
these
surprises.
Sorry,
Save 35% off all windows and doors.
Hold on.
WWL-TV's Eyewitness News begins with breaking news.
Get out the car, Mama. Let me get my mom out the car.
You can actually hear it.
Get out the car, Mama. Let me get my mom out the car. Come this way.
That's Orleans District Attorney Jason Williams frantically yelling for his 78-year-old mother to get out of his car after two men pulled a gun on him and told him to hand over his keys. Good afternoon, I'm Lily Cummings. The carjacking happened shortly after 10 o'clock last night in the 1000 block of Race Street. DA Williams says it was a frightening situation that still has him and his mother shaken, but relieved that they weren't hurt. Minutes ago, investigative reporter Mike Pearlstein sat down exclusively with Williams to talk about what went down in the Lower Garden District. Here's what he had to say.
I don't know what you tell a 78-year-old woman who already was nervous about hearing what was happening to other people. She was worried that she wasn't going to be able to get out of the car fast enough. And that's what she keeps saying. You know, what if I couldn't? And you know, a lot of people don't like to sit on the couch and talk to people. I think maybe that's part of it. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of prayers of thanks giving to God that this didn't turn out worse than it did.
Well, Williams says neither him nor his mother were hurt, and his vehicle was later recovered in the Uptown area. The NOPD says another person was carjacked about 30 minutes later and about a half mile away in the 1800 block of Barone Street.
Southern weather is extreme, and strong windows are critical for your safety and comfort.
Yeah, so that was crazy, but I'm glad they're doing all right, and you know that happened. So that was the big news we needed to discuss. But so what we're talking about now also is this whitewashing in music history. But before we do that, we got to bring in our special guest. Let's bring in. I haven't seen him in a long time, so it's good to hear, ladies and gentlemen. Clap it up for King BJ, Brother Bernard Johnson. Bernard, man, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. How you been, man?
I've been good, man. I ain't seen you in a longer, so I know you've been coming on to the channel and paying tribute. So, how you been?
I'm doing great, man. It was a wild summer. I had some things that went down that probably wouldn't want to go through again, but it is what it is. I had to call you offline and talk about it because it was kind of crazy. I gave you the autopsy results the other day. I'll explain it to you.
You want to explain this to me off autopsy results? I don't know what you're talking about. Something off the record?
It ain't off the record, but I had like a friend of mine. I've been knowing her, had been knowing all my life, and I had let her use the rent one of my rooms out and stuff like that. And on July 2nd, I mean, I came home and one of my friends called me like, "Yo, check on see if she all right or whatever." I ain't heard from her. I was like, okay. I went in the room and she had been dead, or she was dead. I said, "Whoa, what the world?" So paramedics came and let's just say that they said that the other day that it was I think it was what do you call it? It was some, I know she'd been drinking, but she had some fentanyl or something like that.
Or a fentanyl overdose?
It might not have been an overdose, but probably knew what she was doing, but just didn't want to be here no more. I guess sad to say, but she's a great person. But yeah, that kind of threw my summer off.
That stuff is deadly.
Yeah.
That stuff is deadly. I'm sorry for your loss, man. Yeah.
Then my stepmom died later in the summer, so a couple of things went on, but it is what it is. But nevertheless, life's going on. We still here, and hey, look, I turned 36 on July 16th, so I'm still kicking and moving.
That's good for you, man. A lot has changed with me too. I have to tell you about, but things have been good. So,
well, you got a suit on, man. You got a suit on.
Yeah. This is part of my profession, so this is my.
No, it's all good. When you first came on with the, I said okay, and then you switched. I said okay, so this is what you really got on. That was like a pre-recorded.
Oh, that was a pre-recorded video. That was that's for advertisements.
Yep.
That was a switch, but I'm glad you paid attention. Some people didn't notice, don't even notice the video. Yeah.
But know what you got on your mind. And let me say something. Gavin Richard, he always does great work, and on his channel, he's on every Thursday night. I mean, y'all know that already, people listening, but he always does great work, and he brings up topics. I know he's saying he's bringing up the thing with what is it, whitewashing his music history, but what's new? They whitewash everything, don't they?
Well, they do, but I think I guess the big thing is when there's somebody as big as, and we'll talk about it, but the king of pop now, who is being replaced by Taylor Swift. We're going to talk about that. So I'm going to offend some Swifties that may be here on this channel. And let me be clear. I got other stuff I want to talk about in time with that. I'm not trying to attack her personally because I don't know her personally. And she is Taylor Swift is a talented person. I'll just say that much. But they have been using with Taylor Swift and Drake, especially now, to basically say how they have topped Michael Jackson, or like Drake has tied Michael Jackson's record for having like the most #1 hits on the Billboard charts or something like that. So he tied Michael Jackson for, I'll just show you, for Billboard Hot 100 record. So his 13 chart topping song, and it's tying Jackson for the most by a male solo artist. Now, Bernard, you're a little younger than me, but I do know that both of us know that Michael Jackson, especially back in the 80s, there was nobody like him. The records he broke, the videos, the groundbreaking choreography, the groundbreaking videos, being the first black on MTV at a time when MTV was segregated. There was no music. There was, of course, there was BET, but BET really didn't start picking up until the 80s. And, when it started in 1980, it was in certain homes, and they didn't really do video soul, I think, until a few years later. I think when Donnie Simpson came along was 87 or 88, something along those lines. But MTV started out in 1981, and they were a fledgling network. They did music videos basically with an artist just standing in front of an instrument and lip syncing. That's what it was. Michael Jackson's videos were not like that. And so, and the other part of it too, Bernard, and I know you remember this, at least, there was a time when we actually had record stores.
Yeah, we had Willie's, BK Music here, and
Yeah,
actually,
Sam Goody's.
you can go to Circuit City back then and get a record.
Sam Goody's Music Land. I remember cassette players and cassette tapes. Yep. I remember CDs. You had to, when Michael Jackson debuted and had everything, especially going back to when he was with his brothers, you had to sell albums, and that was not easy to do. And they didn't have the internet, right?
So how do those Drake numbers are true?
Huh?
So that, like you said, they didn't have the internet. So how do we know that they're not manipulating Drake and Taylor Swift numbers?
They are manipulating it. I'm going to explain what they're doing, because you have to remember the music business. Now that's Thriller, and Thriller, as you know, this was his sixth studio album, by the way. Now I personally think Off the Wall was his best. Now some people clap at me for that, but no, damn it, that's my opinion. Off the Wall was his best. To me, was his best work. But of course, Thriller is the most popular. But Thriller is listed in the Guinness World Book of Records as the most successful album of all time. And if you look here, it has sold certified copies. This is according to, when they reference this, this is a platinum record. It is still the greatest selling album of all time, where it's estimated to have sold 70 million. But I even call that into question, Bernard, because I believe Thriller has sold, if you're talking about 40 years, it's still popular. People still talk about it. I've heard estimates even up into the 100 millions.
Could probably so.
Because they're not certain, because when they do these certifications, and if you remember a couple of years ago, they tried to say that the Eagles' greatest hits overtook is the best-selling album in America, which it is. Yes, statistically it was. Their greatest hits from 1971 to 1975. The problem with that certification is that they're talking about they certified it more than, this is only for RIAA, is only for the United States. It's the Recording Industry Association of America. It is not the world. And there was big news about how it overtook Michael Jackson's Thriller. This was a record that stood for almost 40 years. So for almost, so this, and this is a compilation album, by the way. Michael Jackson actually had an album with new tracks on it. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't easy. So while this is not a diss against Drake, but Drake is not that. Drake is talented, but Drake is nowhere near on Michael's level. Damn
Drake,
sure is not as Taylor Swift.
What is Drake? Rapper, singer, everything? What is he trying to be? Three things at once?
He tried to do three things and up. He's a lyric slapper. A lyric slapper singer. That's what he does. He raps, he does lyrics, and he sings. But let's look at this. I want to show this to you. So we're talking about whitewashing music history. You remember last month, the former editor of Rolling Stone magazine, John Wynn, made that remarks about how he didn't think blacks or women were smart, and especially how could he talk to them about being a genius in music, basically rock and roll. And we know rock and roll music was started by blacks. Rock and roll, that term is a coin by blacks. Rock and roll meant sex. Come on, baby, let's rock and roll. Let's Dwan B. Shout out to my brother Dwan B. He's always pointed out music history is done. But you had, before Elvis Presley, you had Bo Diddley. You had, who's famous for that Bo Diddley beat that's used in by white artists today, like Toto. When you listen to that song Rosanna, that's a Bo Diddley beat. You look at Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury started out, you know how he got his career started? The lead singer from Queen. He was a Little Richard impersonator.
Yeah, Little Richard, that was back in the 1950s and 60s.
Yeah. Elvis Presley said Little Richard was the king of rock and roll. The godmother of rock and roll is a black woman. The godmother of rock and roll, Sister Rosetta Tharpe.
Yeah, and they also consider Tina Turner to be rock and roll, right?
They call her the queen of rock and roll, but Tina, I remember when they called her the queen of soul once, and Beyonce called her that, and Aretha Franklin didn't take too kindly to it. But Sister Rosetta Tharpe, that's her with her guitar and so forth. We're trying to see who we got in the comments. Come on, y'all. Y'all smash up a like, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Who we got in the comments? But this is history. So they leave this part out. But this what I was talking about, Jan Wenner. Now here's the thing. He was forced out of, Jan Wenner was one of the co-founders of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So what's funny is he was saying this stuff about how he couldn't interview blacks or women, but in 1987, when they had their inaugural induction, they had Little Richard, they had Chuck Berry, Fats Domino, Elvis Presley, Sam Cooke, I think, was inaugurated. Now, of course, Sam was there, Elvis was there, but you could have, Jerry Lee Lewis, you interviewed any of them, they would have told you who the Kings was and who were the pioneers of rock and roll. And damn sure you couldn't interview Chuck Berry. Now, how do you cancel? Now, they forced him out. He's no longer on their board. of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but everybody explained to me, especially you, Bernard, how do you cancel a millionaire?
You don't talk about him, or your dad gonna make him. You put him in a compromise and listen and be quiet.
You know he's gonna find another venue.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna find somewhere else to say. You can't cancel. It's like Trump. You can't cancel a billionaire. Like when Donald Sterling got in trouble for saying what he said. Donald Sterling, they said we're gonna. What did they decide to do? They took the team from him and then forcibly sold it.
Yep.
Which means he
He's
got a
sitting there with
retirement. He got a little early retirement. Not that he couldn't have retired already.
You know something? You know what's so crazy about Donald Sterling?
What's that?
I'm glad you mentioned that, because Donald Sterling actually, that was a big time con game, because you got to remember, a lot of people knew about Donald Sterling's activity, but Donald Sterling was also given an NAACP award. That was kind of crazy, right? A lot of things went down at that time, remember?
Yeah.
So yeah. So
you talk about the NAACP, Los Angeles branch of the NAACP gave him like a humanitarian award.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, that shows you the type of organization the NAACP is. And
you're exactly right.
they tried to get me to join. My dad tried to get me to join. Like, nope. Some people came up and like, no, I'm not interested. Their local board, the local boards, local chapters, now they may do stuff that's different because I think they run them separately, although they still answer to national. And they may be more active, but the national branch, forget about it.
Well, it's mighty funny, because when you bring up this hip hop, this whitewashing history and stuff, actually, to tell you the truth, you know, they have those conventions and stuff, and they try to bring these artists on to get some street cred, quote unquote. You know, they bring these artists with them to try to get the street cred of the people. So the end of we'll do that. Let's put it like that.
Right.
They might even bring up Drake one day. How you know? Shoot.
They well could bring up Drake. But let us look at so Taylor Swift. What they're talking about is she has a concert film. She's been going on this tour called the Eras Tours. And essentially this tour has made over 100 at the box office. I'm talking about they made a film about it, right? So sometimes they do concert films with a lot of these artists and performers, and it's now the highest growing concert film in history with over $128 million, and it shattered a global record for a concert film, right? And what was happening, and for those that don't know, is when you look at this comment here, for instance, and this is why we said it's a whitewashing, it's misleading. They said internationally, Swifties shelled out an additional 32 million. Now, when they say Swifties, that means somebody that's a Taylor Swift fanatic, for those that don't know. Giving their mother a global debut weekend of 128 million, breaking the record for a concert for a film previously set by Michael Jackson's This Is It in 2009. So that film made $74.3 million, right? The concert film. Here's the problem with what they say with that, Bernard. If you remember, most people remember what happened when Michael Jackson died, or it's like a flashbulb memory. We all remember something like that. Like, I remember where I was when 9/11 happened. Can't remember what I did for my 7th birthday too much. Can't remember where I was for Christmas in '97, but I damn sure can remember 9/11. And Michael Jackson, as being the cultural icon that he is, his death especially had an impact on everybody. Now, the the problem with it, okay, so let me show you. The concert film that they talk about, which is This Is It, was not a concert film. What this was a rehearsal. He was preparing to go on tour, if you recall, that day in February, that tour in London in July, and he died about 18 days before the tour. Yeah, that was going to be at the O2 Arena. Now, Dick Gregory, and I knew Dick Gregory before he died, the late Dick Gregory. By the way, happy birthday, Dick. Today is Dick Gregory's, what would have been his 91st birthday.
That was on October 12th, I think.
Thought it was the 17th.
I'll look it up.
I could be wrong. It is October 12th. I'm sorry. So I was sorry about Dick. I was about 5 days late. Happy belated birthday to Dick Gregory. Right?
Yep.
And happy belated birthday to him. So what I was going to say, I'm sorry. So what I was going to say in regards to that, it's misleading when you say this now. You look at the budget here. It made $60 million. It was made for $60 million. The box office is $286.1 million. In today's value, it would be, if from last year, 2022, that would be the equivalent, Bernard, of $390 million. But Taylor Swift's documentary, its film, made $138 million. Now the issue was that last night, PopCurve, which they have their website, and PopCurve was saying that Taylor Swift's concert film was like the highest grossing film of all time. Well, even when we look at the numbers and from the article that everybody saw from Entertainment Weekly, we know that that's not the case. That's not the case. That's incorrect. So we get some idea of how this whitewashing starts, where they tell these lies and misnomers on brothers and especially our icons like Michael Jackson. So that was the part I was talking about, and yeah, you can see it here. So they say 128 million globally, and you can just look right here. This is what PopCurve put, but we know that's not the case. Look at this. They said it made 74.3. The open. So what they were talking about is they called it the highest, and Entertainment Weekly called it the highest grossing film of concert film of all time. On Wikipedia, they call it the highest grossing film of all time, concert film. But that's not true. Even as a rehearsal, this was just what Michael Jackson did. So this is the misleading part. The misleading part is that even as a rehearsal, Bernard, this film made almost 300 million. Michael Jackson's This Is It made almost $300 million on a $60 million budget. And Taylor Swift's film just opened at 128 million. So the numbers still say Michael Jackson is at number one, even in death. What do you have to say?
Well, you can't argue with numbers. The timing of this Taylor Swift thing is actually very, very, very interesting. Did you know Taylor Swift for the last 3 months, 2 months, ever since the NFL season started, you realize Taylor Swift been everything, right? But Taylor Swift is got a contract, like a like a contract with CAA. I think it's Creative Ad Agency, and that's why you see her and what's the boy name? Kelsey. That's it. I mean, they're on the same agency, CAA, Creative Ad Agency. So it's no, when you see Swift, you see Kelsey. Swift, matter of fact, just endorsed Biden for 2024. So like they actually came out and said that Taylor Swift would be used for political reasons. Not too long ago, they said she could help, with politics. So they're gonna be using her for a while. So she really, all the Taylor Swift phenomenon is really just part of the growing. It's gonna be used for political reasons. Be used to get you to do things that you don't probably do. But they say, "Oh, Taylor Swift did it." So
Are you sure that's the agency she's with? CA? You sure?
yeah, CAA. Because
Okay.
which calls on it too? Kelsey. And matter of fact, not only is he on it, he was on Saturday Night Live. Actually, they told you that was in May. I think he signed with them around that time. But whatever the case, both of them are like they keep on showing him at the game together. To me, it's more like a publicity stunt. I'm like, if me and Gavin at the game, why do we care if Taylor Swift there? I mean, it's kind of silly every time they tell you that I mean, like I said, I don't even listen to Taylor Swift. You call her Swifty, Gifty, whatever. I don't. Hey, I
Well,
mean,
I'm looking at. Well, just so you know, I'm looking at the website. I don't see Taylor Swift.
well, it might be when I know Kelsey's on it.
I don't see his name when I type it in either.
Okay, well, I'll have to message you.
Yeah.
I'll find it.
This is here.
But I'll find it. It might be an article on it. But nevertheless, they keep on bringing her to the forefront. And I don't think I don't think all this attention is deserved. I mean, all right.
It doesn't. Well, there certainly is. I'll put it like this: there certainly is a reason why this is being. The artists are being put onto us. Is to promote something. But my whole thing, you're looking at it from that perspective. I'm looking at it even from a artistic standpoint and how it's a whitewashing of history because Taylor Swift, while I say she's talented, I'm not taking anything against her. Nobody can say or do or touch Michael Jackson. And I see what you just sent me there, Kelsey. But you always got to check the source too. So where did this come from? So this was from Hollywood Reporter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he signed with them for off the field representation. So that means if he wants to do movies, if he wants to do commercials, or even eventually music or comedy, they reach out to them.
Yeah. Well, I know definitely he's on it. Maybe, but they do show them. Yeah, but because he was on Saturday Night Live too.
He was. Yeah, he was. He hosted that.
And matter of fact, come to think about it, yeah, ASAP Rocky's on it. There's a lot of people on this daggone thing.
Yeah.
So maybe, but I do know that they are using both of them for a thing. So kind of interesting that they showing both of them around the same time.
Indeed so, but that's the touring artist I was just looking at. So I didn't see Taylor Swift.
Yeah, well, maybe I do know. I know Kelsey signed them with them off-field reputation, but he's also on a lot of other commercials. But nevertheless, they are using them, and they might even have one day a commercial sponsored by them with both of them.
That could happen. I mean, Swift is already doing commercials, so
yeah.
And he try to push that. And I saw, Tariq Nasheed. I was listening to his broadcast. I think he was talking about how they were trying to compare Beyonce with Madonna and so forth. Madonna's been done. Madonna's been is like yesterday is. That's not even yesterday's news. It's like 80s news. That's news. That's news when we still had analog TV, man.
Well,
I saw you wave your hand. Speaking of which, I'm gonna get into this right quick. I'm gonna tell everybody. So earlier today, like I'm man enough to admit when I make a mistake. So I think Queen, shout out to Queen Amadaya Shakur. She had, and I'm trying to be careful with my words too, Bernard, because certain stuff you may say can trigger the algorithm. But I made a remark basically on Twitter about uh, because Queen Shakur had a video up what it appeared to be Madonna's. I thought it was a boy, but I was wrong. Her daughter, adopted black daughter, African daughter. Now, I thought it was a boy, and I commented on it.
Charlize Theron.
Yeah, I guess I got them mixed up. And I commented on Twitter, and I apologize for it. If I made a mistake, if I wasn't correct, I could man up and own up to it, right? So they had a video of it, and I commented, and she said it was inappropriate how they had the girl. I thought it was a boy. Some people say that wasn't true. Corrected me, said that wasn't true, and they obviously took shots and said how stupid and wrong I was, and all this stuff, blah blah blah, and I was attacking. Well, didn't use the words I was attacking the kid, but basically that's what it was coming about. But I doubled down and I said, look, I've apologized for this. Move on. If you don't have a problem with it, or you think you're too sensitive, put a helmet on when you go outside so you don't fall. But that was so it was this. I'll just show you. It was this video, and I basically got rid of the comment, dog, because I was just tired of answering back and forth. But that's the daughter, right? So Queen said it was inappropriate, and I was commenting, and you can see I was going back and forth and saying you're going at the kids and so forth. You're saying something that wasn't true. You're embarrassing yourself and saying she doesn't have a trans son when you can clearly see this is Madonna's son. Now that's a different person, but I couldn't tell the difference. I honestly I don't follow celebrities like that, right? But nevertheless, I was wrong.
Okay.
And so I'm going back and forth, and this may sound I'm going back and forth with it, trying really not to go back and forth with it because it's over, as far as I'm concerned. But people were obviously got their panties in a bunch, and they said I had no decency, and I don't know who the hell this guy is, but you look at it, the flags tells you otherwise. But Madonna has been known, first and foremost, her and along with Charlize Theron, they have and do adopt these children, and they have put these guys. You saw the picture yourself, correct? They put the man in the dress. They put the boy in the dress. So even though she got, speaking of Michael, and this has been documented. Madonna wanted when they went out on a date. She wanted him to go to a strip club or some sorts where they had transgenders or gay men, but Michael was like, I'm not doing that stuff. Now this is old. This was from last year. It was from last year. So that's the son. And they have the title right there. But the guys were saying, oh no, you don't know what you're talking about, all this. But it was there. So you saw that and you see the article here. And if you want to comment on it, you can. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm done with it.
Well,
and I don't give a damn.
Regardless of whatever happened on here, The funny is she is parading her child around. So that's a big problem that we got going on today. I even see it when you see these children in these what they call it, Gavin, what do they call it? These fashion shows and all that stuff.
Are you talking about like catwalk or modeling?
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, that's even getting excessive, man. We got to be careful with these children. These children are real vulnerable to things going on. Like I was talking to a friend of mine that does homeschooling. I told her, I'm glad you do homeschooling because she said she's homeschooled all her children. I said that's good because they don't have to deal with what's going on in these public schools today, what they might be trying to teach. I say it's better sometimes if you do it.
Well, I tell you, I saw some of the weirdest clothes. I'm not talking about dresses and skirts, but I saw somebody, a man actually wearing like a naked suit, like a rubber naked suit. That's the type of stuff they on a catwalk. I don't know if you've seen stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just like, come on, man. Like, what are y'all trying to prove here?
Yeah, was it? I think this was it. I've seen somebody. Now, I don't think this is the actual. This is not the actual model or video, but somebody showed up in a suit.
Oh, that's crazy as hell.
At the Jean Paul Gaultier Hotel Spring Summer 2023 show.
Is he missing an arm?
No, he's just scratch. Look like he's scratching his butt.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess if you don't have a real abs and chest like that, I guess wear a fake one. Huh? But a lot of these artists, these celebrities, and these are weird. They do weird stuff.
Hey, I watched a video last week. Well, they say they don't have no mirrors in their homes, so they must hate it. They say that they like to have a lot of archer rods and stuff. Hey, man, I guess they can't look at this stuff with all the crazy stuff they be doing. These are some weird outfits, bro.
Yeah, they are weird. So, but yeah, what did you think of what I wrote in the comments? Or, I mean, I just ended up. I didn't want to keep having to go back and forth with trolls. So,
I mean, who are these trolls? I mean, some of them AI bots, man. I don't know, but
I don't know who they are personally.
But, huh?
I don't know who they are. They could
Well,
be.
yeah, I mean, look, man, it's kind of like this, man. You got the right to say what you want. I mean, hey, man, you made a mistake. Apologize for it, but at the same time, they want to, if they're getting on you, well, what about the behavior that Madonna is enacting toward her adopted children? Because really, to tell you the truth, they ain't her children. I mean,
well, I mean, look, if I misidentified someone, that's one thing. Move on. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I owned up to it. I'm manning up to it. I ran up and said, "Oh, I made a mistake. My bad." And if you can't accept that, fuck you.
Yeah, you got a point there. That's good. That's what it's called. They going. Hey, look. They misidentify us all the time. They call us cisgender and all this other nonsense. I'm a man. I'm not no cisgender. I ain't none of this nonsense, man.
I just said straight. If you ask me, sexuality was always, if you're gay or straight, you said straight. But now you can be whatever. Let's just put it this way: that person had a rainbow flag next to their name, so that's good everything. But I'm not bullying. I'm not bullying. I want that.
No, you good. You good.
I've been speaking in code, but yeah.
I mean, hey, they had a rainbow flag. Hey, man, tell them go eat some. Hey, look, tell them go eat some Skittles, man. Shit.
No, I'm done. I don't think he'll be commenting again. But I can light into people if I want.
Let me ask you a question that you opened up with, and I wasn't even on yet. I didn't really get to comment on it. This guy that got carjacked, right?
Mm-hmm.
This has been going on quite a lot, actually, man. carjacking. It's not just him. This is a thing that's going on in a lot of places. Chicago, New Orleans, even here in Richmond, I think it is.
New York.
Yep.
Okay.
So
it's everywhere. And actually,
yeah.
carjackings have been down in New Orleans recently. But and I don't know who the kids are, but who they are. But a lot of the crime waves that we had was especially during the summer that was impacted by teenagers.
Yeah.
For joyrides and stuff, carrying carrying choppers, as I call it, the short AK-47. You can't leave your home. I tell you this right. If you have a concealed carry permit holder, you should not leave without your pistol. Now, unfortunately, the way the law works here, New Orleans is a very liberal city. I can't bring my gun into like a bar. I can't bring it into church. I can't bring it into school, which is basically where you need it now. Sadly, we never thought we could have to bring guns in church, Bernard, but we got to have armed security because the people who attack they attack the weak because they can't defend themselves. That's just the bottom line. Like, remember what happened, I think a couple of years ago up in Texas? A deacon stopped a mass shooting because he was armed.
Yeah.
He disabled the shooter.
In Texas, you don't even have to have they got what they call constitutional carry, not even concealed carry. It's called constitutional carry.
In Louisiana, we don't have that. We still have the concealed carry permit as of right now. But in Texas, you got constitutional carry,
which I think actually probably is the best way to go right now. Because if I want to, let's say somebody wants to hit up a local bar, right? They know you ain't got no protection. Shoot, that's where they're going. And people at this moment in time, Gavin, don't need to be sitting ducks. I mean, even the guy you talked about yesterday, I understand he putting in his mom in the car. That could have been a sneak attack, but at the same time, gotta be prepared, man.
That's the attorney. That's district attorney of the city.
Yep. Yeah. So hey, look, he doesn't get. Hey, look, he ain't getting no respect. Shoot, no respect, man. So you know,
one of the guys he let out.
It was.
I said it could have been one of the guys. I don't know for a fact, but just imagine somebody you let out did that to you. I'm glad he's doing okay though. But yeah, that was big news down here.
Yeah, so you know, I just said, wow, I hadn't heard about it, but I mean, like you said, it was on the record last night, so that's very interesting that you brought that up because, hey, man, when I leave the house, I always make sure got that with me.
The piece is made of steel.
Yes.
Piece be steel because the piece is made of steel. The only time I quote Tyler Perry. So, but no, tell us what you got going on. First off, have you been on Judge Joe Brown's talk show on the phone?
Yeah, I was on there. I was on last week. The week before, I was traveling to Newport News, so I wasn't on there long. I was on there. Matter of fact, I was able to reinstate. They gave me reinstated my channel back in June. Then they put a what they call like a strike on there one time in August. But otherwise, I'm back up, and I'm gonna have to bring you back on, and we got to talk about some things too. Actually, very soon. Actually, a lot of things going on in the world out there. We got to talk about some New Orleans. As a matter of fact, come to think about it, Louisiana just was yesterday on the news yesterday because they got a Governor John Bell Edwards is leaving, and they got another new governor elect.
Jeff Landry is coming.
Yeah.
And they started to. Well, we can talk about it right quick. What they have done, and Roland Martin was commenting, they started to blame, black voters for not showing up. Louisiana has a population of over 4.5 million people.
Yep.
Orleans is just the largest of the population. You got to worry about all the rest of Louisiana. So how does that relate with black people don't even make up 12%, less than not even the majority of this population, can't even come close to it. Yet you want to blame them for John Bell for the Democrats losing the seat. You didn't have a strong candidate. Sean Wilson, who is a black man, he's the former he was a head of the DOTD, the Department of Transportation down here. That didn't win him any favors either because our streets are messed up. We have service roads closed. He wanted to keep the toll booths, which nobody wanted. So that was bad. But you know something he didn't do? Not one time did I ever see his campaign ads running on network television.
Mm.
He had no campaign video ads on the television affiliates down here. And you're trying to run for office. What they did is they took the vote for granted, like they always do.
And I looked, and I think I was listening to something yesterday about his budget. He didn't. I think he had a budget like maybe like $5 million or something like that. They didn't put a lot of money back in this dude.
He didn't put a lot of money. He did what they thought was they had everything shored up in New Orleans. Oh, that's Democrat. We don't need to do that. And that's black. You know, that's what they're doing in Chicago. That's why Brandon Johnson is like,
you snooze, you
we're
lose.
gonna give $9,000. I saw they're gonna give $9,000 to illegal immigrants to carry for their apartments and stuff. But you have black homeless people who are not getting any money. And matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, the citizens have filed a lawsuit against the city. They filed for, I want to think, under the Freedom of Information Act, a records request to see why monies or where that money was going and why it wasn't going to the people here, to the city that needs it.
Well, yeah. Let me bring something up to you because I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. We were talking, and he works at like a water restoration company. They take down walls and things like that and build the stuff back up, water restoration.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that even here in Richmond, that he got a lot of Venezuelans working on his job too, man. So I'm just letting you know, man, this thing is really, really getting very interesting. But nevertheless, like you said, going back to Mr. Wilson, hey man, you snooze, you lose. I mean, hey, they're not telling people that voter turnout is down, and actually it's not even voter apathy. It's just like people saying, look, you're not bringing anything to the table. You're talking about migrants, LGBTQ. They can be talking about probably Israel next, blah blah blah. They're not gonna bring their benign neglect has got so much benign neglect. People just say, okay, fine. I said, so it's Roland Martin didn't tell Roland Allen kissed his master's ring or whatever. And
Al Simple Simon.
Yeah, matter of fact, you can tell him, hey man, Roland, try to go to the gym in the morning and go work out or something because this isn't working anymore for you. That's all. I mean, he says he wants to be like he's supposed to think he's like the best podcaster or something in black media or something like that.
He wants to be the chief of black media, basically the one all and be all with black media. The only thing he's the one is Black Angus beef.
Well, who listened to you?
Nobody. Nobody my age.
I mean, he came in one time he came in Richmond like a few years ago to like a basketball game or something at the Arthur Ashe Center. But I mean, come on, man. I mean, it's kind
of. They had people. I think when he went up to, there was some type of protest going on. He came out and you had people that ran him out.
Hey, man.
I can't remember where it was, but yeah.
Yep. You're right. Hey, look. That's just how it goes, man. Hey, Gavin, you know what they say, man. People are very, very, is what they would call, we're reaching a breaking point. People are very upset. You got people living on the street, people struggling to eat, this, that, and the third. And when you have all these problems, it's like a ticking time bomb. It will, hey, look, it will explode, brother. And that's why I like
explode.
Hey, everybody in the chat, I'm glad that y'all here tonight or today or whatever. It's actually dark outside here now. So, but nevertheless, this is like I always say, Gavin, that was pretty interesting what you brought up. I do think that people will see through this charade though, because like I say, I don't have anybody in my circle that really listen to Taylor Swift. So I think people will see through this charade. On the other hand, I do have people listening to Drake.
Yeah, there are. But then again, Drake is not Michael Jackson, and neither is Taylor Swift. Of course, when Shaq is here, and when you're here, Bernard, Shaq follows. So, yeah, what y'all think about the super prisons they're building? What's new?
Well, hey, look, I'm just saying it for the record, Shaq. I do think that hey, it seems like there's a new class coming of Venezuelans, Hondurans, and so forth, like and everybody else, and these are military-age men. So the question is, like in the movie what's it called? You got movies like Total Recall and all these other movies, The Purge, right? They just showed another Purge. Are they getting ready to purge us? If so, I would answer the question for you. Probably, yeah, but guess what? Like me and Gavin said earlier, hey, make sure you don't leave the house without no protection. So I would put it like that. Watch your back at all times right now. The climate is like a wildfire. It's ready to explode like a stick of dynamite. I would put it, Shaq. But let's look at it. So you got computer robots. Always shout out to him and
computer robots. CC Shaq. We got Tasha Peters. What's up, Miss Peters? How you doing? Yeah.
Well, I got to say this. I mean, people, Gavin, he's always on Thursday. Make sure you, y'all make sure you get a man a donation. Whatever. He's been doing good work, so it's always good to hear from him. I'm bringing him on my show probably next week or so, probably.
Right.
We'll talk about a few things. So, how's the comedy thing going, brother?
Well, I thought you never asked. We do have a comedy show coming up this Saturday. It's a costume contest as well. At the Verdict, actually, I just played the ad for it. I'm gonna play it one more time for everybody to see before we get out of here. But I've been busy with that. Mostly been busy with work, man. That's just been taking up a lot of my time. So mainly it. But yeah, here's the ad. And I'm not gonna tell everybody what I'm gonna be dressed for. It's Halloween. But we're gonna have surprises.
Show live at the Verdict, 8 o'clock p.m. October 21st.
So that's it there.
Be there with costume and your tickets in hand. It's a thriller.
Yeah, but that was my ad. So
get your tickets right now on Eventbrite. It's the Halloween Spectacular Show live at the Verdict, 8 o'clock p.m. October 21st. Be there with costume and your tickets in hand. It's a thriller.
yeah, that's gonna be a great show.
Yep. Well, I just sent you a donation myself, actually.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, y'all. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, Bernard. I always appreciate you dropping something in. And anybody else, I don't really like to call it a donation, but just pay me for my time. If you think I'm worth my time, you love the show and broadcast and support the channel. YouTube doesn't monetize this network, but we always go live and try and please everybody.
Somebody, I was going to tell you this. Let me say this before I go, man. You probably, well, I mean, Dr. Felicia Lockhart pointed this out to me. You probably, and me, and everybody else probably got more subscribers than we think. They're actually blocking and shadow banning subscribers too, a lot, because you've been on a while, and I know that they are blocking.
Well, we noticed that. What I also noticed is that when I go to my channel subscribers, I noticed that I would have, let's say, for instance, 1,360, and then the next day I see I got 1,350. So they've taken people off who've been on there. Then I see them pop back up. The views that you have. Yeah, there are a lot of people watching this. Some don't like to talk, but yeah, YouTube likes to screw up with this, man. Screw with people. So
Well, but like I said, just keep up the good work. Like I said, daggone, putting out truth is not easy. That's why they, that's why you got the biggest, I would say, quote unquote, communist attack on free speech have you ever seen in this country. I mean, remind you. Well, you know what it remind you of. It's perfectly channel. I ain't gonna tell you, but you know what it remind you of. Big time censorship campaign though. But I will say this. Like I said, I don't just shout out information because Gavin, I'm gonna bring him on my channel, guys. Everybody in the chat, they seen Gavin before, but my information is Bernard1120 on Instagram, King BJ Johnson, YouTube channel, kingbjmedia.com, website, and Bernard Johnson on Facebook. Like I said, y'all got to continue to support Gavin. And 1987 BJ1 Twitter too. If you want to donate, $ 1990 BJ Cash App. That's it. But yeah, like I said, daggone. I know Gavin gonna come on with Sean James this Thursday. What's your topic?
We don't have a topic just yet, but probably we'll deal with moronic Huns.
Is that what?
Moronic Huns. I don't know. I'll think of something, so I'll have something.
Well, like I said, I always appreciate you for bringing me on. You've been, like I said, doing a lot of good things. And like I said, when I'm at home Thursday, if I'm not out sometime I be at the gym or something, but I listen to you always, usually put in there when I'm on, like, how you doing? I look at it later or whatever. But where's the guy? What's the guy name? Is his name Childress? Yeah, well, how's he been doing? The bishop you have on? Might have the wrong name though.
The bishop I've had on?
Is it? Yeah, he used to be on there with me sometime. Bald headed guy.
Bishop Scott?
No, it's another guy.
Oh, wait. Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the bishop from New Jersey.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. I haven't spoken to him in a while.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, he's smart man. How your dad doing?
He's doing good. He's doing fine. You're talking about. I know you're talking about, and I should know his name. Childress, Reverend Childress.
That's what I said, Reverend Childress. Yeah.
I haven't spoken to him in a while. I got to holler at him. But yeah, he was. But yeah, my father's doing good.
All right. Well, like I said, I just want to thank you for coming on. And run out. Dad, I got to make a couple of stops, but I told you when you called me today, yeah, I come on because So, can I thank you? Take your time, everybody. Make sure you donate to $ GavinRichardEsq, and take your time. And we'll hopefully do this in a couple of weeks or whatever, or next week you may bring on my show. So take your time, brother.
I think we'll do that. I'm getting notifications too, so. Yeah, so we all owe Jada Pink. I'm seeing what it be saying we owe Jada Pinkett an apology.
Oh man,
well,
boy, that's a whole other story in itself, man.
Jada needs to stop putting her business out in the streets. But that's what sells. That's the only thing. She needs attention.
Yes,
nobody asked to know. Granted, she didn't put the entanglement out, but she went in detail over it. So,
Jada Pinkett, always there to daggone bring up something when you thought it was over. I just thought it was over, but I'm back again.
Yeah. Let me ask you, when you saw that slap that happened, what did you think? When
I thought it was a good publicity stunt, but I also know that daggone they were gonna make Will Smith look bad. But she been making Will Smith look bad for the last 15, 20 years.
He apparently is cool with it. They're not divorcing.
Hey, they got a mismatched family. They got a son that act like one, and they got a daughter that act like the other. So it's kind of weird. Willow and Jaden. Not two peas in a pod, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. When you put the thing is this: when you put your affairs, you put yourself out, your business out in the streets, everybody is gonna comment. So you can't, it's like the genie out of the bottle. You can't complain when it's popped out. You can't be upset there's no more toothpaste. Once you squeeze the toothpaste out the tube, it can't come back in.
Well, that's a fact. Hey,
DeAndre Mosley, what's up? My Slidell brother. Make sure you get your tickets on Eventbrite for the Halloween Spectacular. Bring a costume. Yeah. But yeah, Willie D is saying we owe Jada an apology. What? I guess I don't know, he read something he didn't say because he's actually been commenting on it.
Well, seems like she got a love affair with Tupac. All I know about, so.
She's gonna say she was riding in the car with Tupac when he got shot.
No, she ain't gonna say that now.
I was in the back seat.
No, I thought Khadijah Jones and the other guy, Quincy Jones' daughter or something.
The thing is this: I know people who, I know someone that knew Tupac. Says she knew him, and says Jada was never like that in terms of it was never a romantic relationship. He always saw her as a friend. So all the stuff she's saying is extra. She wanted to be more than friends, but he didn't want to be. Because remember, he was married to Keisha, and Kadada was the fiance. He got divorced. He got annulled. His first marriage, he was annulled. They weren't married that long, and then he got engaged to Quincy Jones' daughter.
Yep.
That was it. Jada, I heard they stopped talking to each other afterwards. And Will was married to another woman, and you notice the son he has, he's not, you don't hear anything about him.
Nope.
He got it going around saying, Tyler the Creator's my boyfriend. He doesn't do that. I guess it's because his mom, they kept him out of the spotlight, you know?
Well, it's kind of crazy. But nevertheless, hey, look, they want to put their business out, that's on them. But they gotta take the repercussions that come with that. Right?
Right.
But whatever the case may be, that's on them. Like I said, daggone, hey man, that's why they call it social media. People getting social, but some people they come in comment and say anything which way, and then people just take it wrong anyway. So.
Right.
But
all right, bro.
All right, take your time, man.
All right, well, I'm gonna wrap this up. They got some stuff going on. They got like a night out against crime. I was gonna go past at a couple of places and see that. But
all right, man, stay sharp.
Always stay sharp, man.
Yes, sir. Take your time.
All right. And this has been another edition of Random Topic Tuesdays. One topic actually today. But shout out to Bernard. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been it for me. I'll be back Thursday. Be one, be safe, be blessed. Love y'all. I'll holla.